call.
Also, I'm getting echo from Federico, I think. Federico.
I think we're good.
Cool. All right. Welcome, everyone, to the Friday, August 16th edition of the SIG ContribEx Contributor Comms Subproject Team meeting. As usual, a reminder that we operate under a code of conduct, which essentially says to be respectful of your fellow speakers and attendees and generally be excellent to each other. To start things off here, we like to offer an opportunity for anyone on the call to introduce themselves. This is totally optional. I will kick things off. I'm Caslin Fields, and I am a co-lead of this sub-project. I'm also a co-chair of the Special Interest Group for Contributor Experience, which is the parent group of this group. The purpose of this group and of this meeting is essentially to make sure that folks within the contributor community know what's going on, and also to some extent that folks outside of the contributor community know about the awesome work that contributors to Kubernetes are doing. And my pronouns are she, her. Would anyone else like to go?
Certainly. I am Chris Short. I'm also the other co-lead here and work at AWS. Been part of the project for many, many years now. I know where the bodies are buried and the files are and G Drive and such. My pronouns are he, him. Who would like to go next?
I can try. So can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
Yes.
I'm Federico, or Fred, it's simpler. I've been working here in the ContribEx comms for a couple of years now. I'm mostly working on the blogging aspects. I've also been a part of the Kubernetes release team since 1.25, and my pronouns are he, him.
Welcome, welcome. Anyone else? All right. If we're done with that section, then a reminder that this is a very casual call, so feel free to pop in at any time. If you want to introduce yourself, if you want to ask a question, anything, just let us know. And last housekeeping item, do we have anyone today who would like to take on the role of note taker? The job of the note taker is to follow along with the discussion that's happening in the meeting and take notes so that anyone who didn't attend the meeting can kind of get caught up on the highlights at least. So would anyone like to take on that responsibility?
No one else
I guess.
wants it? Okay, the one. Sorry. You were first.
Chris is actually going to do it.
Shocking.
You usually aggressively avoid that.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll pay attention this time and not go for stuff.
Every now and then,
We'll
give
see.
it a new shot. And
Right.
I always say it after someone signs up, but I always like to make the reminder that it is kind of a group effort and folks will hop in, especially me, with things that they hear. Alrighty. So I think that's it for housekeeping items. Well, I guess arguably we'll go over a new housekeeping item before we go into the agenda, since the first agenda item is new. In the special interest group for contributor experience, SIG ContribEx meeting that happened earlier this week, I think it was in that meeting. Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. Last week?
You're right.
Anyway.
This week. Yeah.
Recently. Josh Burkus, who has been running the Last Week in Kubernetes Development newsletter for a long time, mentioned that one thing that we could do to help out the LWKD folks' efforts is to more clearly highlight what messaging is going to be coming out in the following week. So we have added a section to our agenda to go over messages that are planned for this coming week. So let's start off there. Does anyone have any messages that are planned for release this week? I would guess it's only Spotlight blogs. Do you know of any, Federico?
Sorry?
Do you know of any Spotlight blogs that are planned for release this week?
This week, I don't think they are, because the ones that were planned, I think we have a couple of comments there that need to be addressed. But no, so I would put that a no. Even because now with 131 out, we have the feature blogs coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're
So,
coming in fast, hot, and heavy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's social for all that set up for today in Buffer. So yeah.
Nigel asks if there was
Good.
a KCS Reg message that was going out. That went out last week, but we do have essentially weekly comms coming out for Contributor Summit, but that is handled separately from this group. Yeah. Might be worth
Yeah.
mentioning though. I'll just put a link to the doc for that. I guess nobody else on this call would have that link handy. Let me see if I can grab it. Do. Email doc. This is the KCS comms plan doc, by the way. There are a few things in it.
That's a lot of links.
Been going hard.
Tell. Huh.
I'm just going to check real quick what's planned for this week. This is actually sent. This went out yesterday, so I haven't updated that yet. We'll go ahead and do that. We've got another one coming out on, I believe that's Monday. And then the next one I think is not until the following week. Yeah, the next one is the following Monday. And then there's another one that week. And okay, that one's the following week. Yep. So just this one design reminder. I'll just go ahead and put that in since I looked it up.
Yeah, might as well.
Now, the true question. I know that there are not any social media posts planned.
Do you want some?
Should we plan any social media posts for this week? So the release is out. I would have liked to have sent something out on social media about that this week, but I didn't. So I think I might, yeah. Social release. Since we didn't do one last week, maybe just, well, actually, maybe I'll send one out today. Move that from this week then to new items. I'm getting echo from you again, Federico. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll try to post about the release after this meeting. Any other things that we might want to mention on social that are this week? We could mention KCS, but nothing else pressing. Can we consider election comms posts in this? Yeah, I think so. Did you talk to Bridget, by the way, Arpit? You had reached out to me
Yes.
about creating a plan, and then I talked with
Am I
Bridget, and
audible?
Bridget was like, I already have a plan.
Oh,
Am I audible?
yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I talked to her. So basically, what she said is she is going to write all the emails and stuff by herself. But like she didn't have access to like social media accounts like Kate's Contributor, LinkedIn, and Mastodon, etc. So those are the posts I am creating. I will send the doc in the steering committee for all the posts for whole the election schedule today itself. And after the review, I will schedule them in the bus.
We could also offer to give her access. She's welcome to have that access herself if she would like, but it's also a good experience for you to work on that. So whatever works for people. Noted. So do you know of any messages coming out this week on that?
I am yet to complete the doc according to the whole schedule. Like I have written couple of posts about the initial, like there's something I have to like see the schedule, but I have like covered half the schedule, half is left. So I will like completing all the posts, and then I will be sharing the doc in the same.
Okie dokie.
I've already failed at
Plan in
taking notes.
progress.
Sorry.
No worries. Got your back. All right.
Pay
So
attention now,
sounds like no
sorry.
social plans this week, which I guess I can record like the no spotlight blogs. I would like to fix that someday, but we'll see when that happens. All right, then. Let's move on from messages of the week to new items then. I put one thing in here for me to post about the release today since I'm super late on that. Anything else that's a new item that we need to discuss?
I just remembered that around messages of the week, I still don't have it clearly, but so Kubernetes 132 will start the shadow application requests shortly. So maybe that's one of the things. I mean, this is around the stuff that we do, right? So it's contributors that want to participate. So it's still not out yet, but it will be during the next week. So I think that by Friday, it will already be decided because it depends on the timeline of the 132 release. So that's likely to fall within the messages of the week.
Interesting.
So I mean, I feel like Josh would pick that up. The LWKE team for real would pick that up. Yeah.
Well, would be social, actually.
It would be. Yeah.
So let's add that in. Do you need help getting an email for that since the comms team hasn't been decided yet?
No, so I'm still filling things out, but whenever we have the dates and the stuff there, I can liaison directly with you and the rest.
Encourage the comms lead to do so as well.
Yeah. But it's a bit of a catch-22 because we're still, but the comms lead is already assigned. So yeah, that's a good idea. I will reach out to the comms leads of 132 and bring him into the folds anyway, when it's up, we'll open up a discussion on our Slack channel, probably Monday or so that we can broadcast this as needed.
And you didn't say it outright, but Frederico is the new release lead. Yay!
Thank you for your support. And actually, I mean, I didn't want to say anything because it's not that relevant for our discussions, but I will say on record that the work that I've been doing here since I've joined, which is more or less the same time that I've been involved in Kubernetes project, has been extremely important for me in this journey. So that's partially I would like to thank you all as well.
Yay!
Well, thank you.
Love to see it.
Yes. We're very happy for you and the project, and feel like 132 will be in very good hands.
Excellent. So keep us informed on that. Anything that you need from us, any way that we can help support you, we are here for it.
Thank you. I know.
Any other new items that folks want to go over today? Alrighty then. There's one thing that the 1.32 release stuff reminded me of, and I want to go ahead and talk about that one first, which is the new contributor orientation thing that we've talked about the last couple of meetings. So myself, Mario, Sylvester, Sandeep, Arvind, have all been working on a slide deck that we want to use for this new contributor orientation call concept. The idea is for SIG ContribEx to run a monthly call that'll happen twice in 2 time zones, where we aim to orient prospective new contributors in the community. So that means telling them a little bit about the structure of the contributor community, how we work, like subprojects, SIGs, steering, that kind of stuff. And to give them a sense for how they can interact with and become part of the community. So telling them about how to find information about SIGs, how to join meetings, what to look for when evaluating tasks that they might be able to do, and to share current help wanteds from the SIGs. So we'll hopefully get updates on that on a monthly basis and share it in a useful way.
Nice.
So I added a link to the deck that we've been working on here. We've been starting to share it this week with SIG leads to try to get some of the help wanteds in there. Haven't gotten much traction on that yet, I think. But we would now like to open it up for everyone's review. If you are interested in helping new contributors get familiar with the project, please do review that slide deck and give us any feedback that you may have. We're hoping to run that toward the end of the month. Since the shadow application is coming out, I think it's especially important that we do something with that. Frederico, actually, if you would like to, I feel like you are in a very reasonable position, perhaps the best position, to decide how that's represented in this slide deck. So if there was a meeting for prospective new contributors, would you want the release shadow application mentioned? And if so, how would you like it framed? Consider.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I think it would be extremely relevant, and I'm more than happy to join in and then my contribution. So, in more concrete terms, what are we talking about? Adding content, having a meeting.
So the plan is for this
kind of all the above.
Yeah. The plan is for this to be a monthly meeting, and the way that I have it set up in the slide deck is we have this current work opportunities section, and that's split into 2 parts. It's evergreen opportunities, so things that happen regularly or are always available, which release shadowing would count under that, or current calls for help, which tend to be tasks with skill requirements. Let me explain that concept. So I have actually an example here of what a release team shadow call might look like. I have it listed as some experience preferred. So we don't know if we'll use this format. If you like that, we can just go with that. You can also add it however you would like here on the Evergreen Opportunities slide. So that's going to be like the name of the opportunity, when is it available, which sub-project is it part of, and this is separated by SIG. So SIG opportunity, when it's available, sub-project.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, that's perfect. So should I take a look into what we already did, suggest any changes, and then be open to speak about it? That's the request, right?
You don't have to speak about it unless you'd like to
No.
be on the call. The idea is for
Yeah.
like, we have the information here. Whoever's presenting will present that to
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'll certainly take a look during the weekend.
Of course, more experienced contributors are always welcome on the call.
I will take a look at the slide deck at the very least today. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. At least that, and I'll also try to join the call.
Excellent. We were discussing possibly doing it on, let's see here, Tuesday the 27th at 9 a.m. Pacific and also at 9 a.m. whatever Mario's time zone is, which is like midnight for me. So the
Central
European one will be
European,
first.
yeah.
Yeah, the European one will be first, and then the US one will be later.
Okay. I could probably do both.
I have not put that on the calendar yet. I'm going to put that on my to-do list right now.
Is that
And
like hard set already?
No.
Okay. Well, let me know when it is, please.
If I make it after this meeting, then it will be.
or how will people join in?
Awesome. Would love to have you. And one thing I'll point out about the slide deck is if you're going to be there and you want to help answer questions, if you'd like to be featured as one of the hosts for that day, let whoever is actually hosting know. So for Europe, it'll be Mario this time, and for US, it'll be me. And we can just add you to the slide. You can also add yourself to the slide. You can copy one of these, add yourself.
Is it going to be a virtual call or like an in-person one?
Correct. In-person call or virtual call. In-person call. Virtual call. There'll be a Zoom meeting just like these.
So
In
like
virtual personal call.
like can I be a co-host or something like that?
Sure. If you want to join in and help answer questions, the way this will work is one person will present the slides, and then there will be a Q&A portion after, which should be long, like at least 10 minutes, hopefully more like 20 minutes of Q&A. And so we'd mention you at the beginning of the call to say, this is one of the people that we have here for answering questions, and this is what their experience is. You can put it on your slide. And then at the end, we'll be like, and now open for questions. And so that would be the main part where you would contribute.
Yeah, sounds cool.
Awesome. And then after the first one, if somebody else wants to host, happy to set that up for the following calls. Mario will kick it off for Europe. I'll kick it out for US. But then the idea is for anyone to be able to give this. And we're going to hopefully solidify this deck so that it has speaker notes for everything. And we're going to recommend that future hosts just read the speaker notes to get through the slides in as quickly and consistently of a time as possible. Because the real key, I think, is the Q&A. So help us solidify this deck by reviewing it and letting us know what you think. It doesn't have any speaker notes yet, so that's kind of unfortunate, but I'll try to do that today.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay.
You can kind of get the
Yeah,
idea.
you might. Yeah, I mean, yes, I can. Just kind of glancing at this, but I thought I would be reviewing those as well. So my job might be very quick today.
For today, I'll let you know when I have them in. If
Yeah,
you
I
want to go
figured.
ahead and start adding them, you know what you're doing. Give it a shot.
I mean, yeah. Let me go find the deck from San Diego. Ah!
This is mostly built off of the SIG ContribEx maintainer track session from Paris.
Cool. Awesome. I just want to make sure we have the things documented.
Cool. So if you want to get involved with that, please let us know. Ping in ContribEx comms, ping me, Mario, Sylvester, Arvin, Sandeep directly. Just make your interest known and we'll make sure that we get you involved. And thank you very much for everyone who reviews it. Apologies that I didn't get those speaker notes done. That was what I was hoping to have done before
you're
sharing
fine.
it with this group.
You're
But here we are.
You're okay.
Any other, let's see. I guess we have one more update in the true big win that we want to go over. Frederico, would you like to say it or shall I?
Yeah, so I think this was in the beginning of last week, if not the other one on Friday, but the SIG API machinery spotlight was published. So we haven't covered it before anyway, so it's just to mention that it was published.
Wonderful. I'm so glad to see it. Always wonderful to see more spotlights coming out. And I know there are a few others in progress, which we'll go over soon. But congratulations, Frederico, and thank you very much for that contribution. Yay. All right. With that, I think we have come to the end of our discussion agenda. Any other new items, updates, big wins, or messages of the week that folks remembered while we were talking?
But I did find the new contributor deck from China and San Diego the last time we did those at the contributor summit. So let me know if you want to reference those for any reason.
I know where those are, and I didn't use them.
Yeah,
so.
no, I figured. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I know those were exhaustive in terms of all the knowledge was in them. So if you want to like reference it as a do I have everything I need here kind of thing, that might be wise. But yeah, whatever you want to do.
Which feel free to do as well as you're reviewing if you feel so inclined and have the links handy.
That's yeah,
I
that's
have
why
not
I
done
pulled
that.
it up next to yours, because I'm like, just in case something's missing, I'll see if it's in this one and we can just copy.
Good call. Yeah, a lot of the new contributor workshop content does focus more on the technical aspects of contributing, like how to use GitHub and make your first contribution, stuff like that, which we are intentionally not covering. But
no, we don't need all that.
There is still some good stuff. There is still overlap.
Oh yeah. For me, it's just I know that the people that made that were very close to the project. You know, we had like release leads that were contributing to that deck and all that stuff. So yeah.
Wonderful. So with that, I think we're done with our agenda. Feel free to pop in anytime with more comments, but we can move on to the board. Let's dive in. The first one is the SIG scheduling spotlight, which is open for review. Would you like to give updates, Frederico or Arvind? But Arvind isn't on today. Oh no, Arvind is a reviewer. No, it is Arvind. Okay.
No, so no updates there. I'm still trying to find how to get rid of that the commit message error. I think that there's a flag there.
Oh,
invalid commit message. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a problem.
I have only ever given up on it and created a new one.
Yes,
retest last week. Since I started vacations last week, I wasn't really able to focus on it. Also with 131 release, but in terms of the contents, I think it's okay because Arvid already in the beginning of the week did some comments. I already reflected them there. So I just need to update the publishing dates to be more aligned with the schedule of the feature blocks as well, which should end somewhere in the beginning of September. So I suppose that this coming out in the first or second week of September will be fine. I just need to know what kind of retests I need to do in order to get rid of that. Because I've tried to rebase, I committed a new message, but didn't work. So I guess I'll try to investigate that during the beginning of next week and see how it goes. And also, I will ask for Doc's reviews on this. I haven't before because I know that Docs is pretty busy with the feature blogs during the last week, but now things are a bit lighter again, so it's a good time to ping them again.
Literally, Caslin said Arvin's name, and then 5 seconds later, he joined the Zoom. That's so
Perfect.
amazing. Welcome,
Hello,
Arvin.
everyone. Sorry, I'm late.
No, no worries.
You are
came in just
perfectly
in
on
time.
time, as
Literally.
you said.
Yeah, exactly on time to see my PR on the screen.
So you're the writer for this one, right? I didn't think this was a Federico one. Is it though? Or are you just the reviewer, Arvind?
Yeah, no, SIG scheduling. Yeah, I was the writer for that.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Nice.
I
Exciting.
just opened PR facilitated this thing, but Arvind is the author.
Thank
Sorry,
you for
what
helping
was
folks with that.
Yeah, thank you. What was the update on that one?
We're just going over it. We just popped into the board, so we were going over. This is the first one that's in review, and Federico was saying he's been out, so he hasn't had a chance to address the invalid commit message thing, and we're not sure exactly how that's going to go. So I am literally writing a message to the GitHub admins right now to say, "Hey, I've gotten burned by this before. We've got an open thing. Do we have any guidance?"
Yeah,
Okay,
we need that.
perfect. Thanks,
But-
everyone.
And we can take the next week to clear that out. And this is for Arvin because I mentioned this before, but he didn't catch it. Because during the next week or 2 weeks, there will be a steady stream of Kubernetes 131 feature blocks coming in. So we don't necessarily want to be right in the middle of them. So we can target this at the beginning of September. And until then, we should be able to clear this out.
So this is expected to ship in September. Is that what I heard?
I think that's sensible. We are already almost there. So targeting the last week of August, first week of September seems adequate.
Sounds good. Okie dokie. Cool. Thank you very much, Arvind and Frederica, for your work on this. If you need any help with anything, please do let us know. I have pinged the GitHub admins for you, and we'll see if they have any guidance for getting rid of that pesky label. Which is how I described it in
really
my
like some
message.
guidance just because, right? Like, we should
Yeah,
write that down somewhere because it does happen.
Yeah. I also said there may be more that we can do here, like a blog on the kates.dev or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see what they say.
Yeah.
Good, good. All right. And so the other one is just the issue for SIG scheduling. So that's it for our ready for review column. We're going to move into in progress, skipping over blocked and waiting. So first one there, buffer access audit. Chris and I mentioned this week that we once again have not scheduled meetings with each other. So maybe someday. Let's move on to the next one.
Eventually we'll get there.
Yeah. Sensitive comms process. Has there been any active work on that? No, we said we were going to do active work on that, but did we do
No, I think, so we had the sensitive comms thing going, and then the AI thing to kind of sucked the energy out of that.
Oh boy, it did.
And yeah, it did. The whole Gen AI, like, what do we do with completely Gen AI created submissions kind of thing. At this point, I don't know much else I can say other than, like, please don't do anything massively impacting without contacting comms, right? Like,
It's very
I think the
difficult
guidance
to.
should be, yeah, like you can't write down, this is a bad idea, don't do it, if you don't know what the idea is.
Yeah. It's like a lot of very soft guidance. It's like,
Yes.
have you thought about your audience? Is this designed for them? Is it the message that
All
you
the
want to
things.
convey?
Are you sure
Very
you want
difficult
to say
things to
this?
convey clearly. But there is progress going on the AI guidelines side, I think, because I think Mario pinged about that in the last week or two. That's active.
Yeah. That's very
So
active.
maybe I'll
I
leave
think
it
at
here
this
for
point,
now.
let's just kill it. Seriously,
Blocked and
because
waiting?
it hasn't blocked. That's fine. Yeah.
We'll move it to blocked and waiting for now. And we can try to check in with Mario on that when he's here next week, though. From our perspective, it's blocked and waiting.
I mean, I've put all the stuff I could think of in there. At this point, it could just be like an outline of guidance. It doesn't need to be like narrative, you know?
Doesn't have to be perfect. We could just put that somewhere. It's not like anybody's going to know that it
True.
exists.
Mhm.
Unless we do comms to say this exists.
The virtuous circle.
Yeah. Do you want to try to
Police
do
and
that and
cons.
leave it in progress? If we want to revisit it
Yeah.
again next week, then it has to be in progress.
We should have a discussion about it very quickly, I think, you and I.
Okay.
Just to be like, hey, should we just document the mistakes of the past, or should we have like really clear guidance about how to structure messages?
Cool. I'm going to leave it in progress for now and check in on it next week
That's
when
fine.
Mario's here and hopefully when we do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on. We've only got 15 minutes left. Promoting new contributor workshop content. We've been saying that when we get the new contributor orientation meeting going, we also want to do some social media posts about the new contributor, the virtual cades.dev new contributor guide, new contributor workshop content over there. So leaving that on the in progress list because it should be moving very soon. Let's move on to Steering Spotlight blog. Arpit, any updates?
Yeah. So, like, I have sent the doc in the steering committee. Let's see when they respond.
I suspect it will take a number of pings, so be prepared.
I guess so.
They tend to not be very responsive.
And for the SIG docs one, I have like pinged in the channel like whom I can interview and send the docs. So when I will get the reply, I will send the docs to the relevant folks.
For SIG docs?
Yeah.
So that was doc has been sent as well?
No, I have like pinged in the SIG docs community. Like I want to interview and whom should I interview? So once I get the reply, I will send the doc to the relevant folks.
We had an update a couple weeks ago that you had questions ready to be sent.
Yeah, that time I was preparing the doc.
So we're awaiting confirmation of interviewees.
Yeah, like whom to send.
That is good. Awaiting confirmation of interviewees. Noted. Cool. And then the last one for you is the kubectl spotlight, which you're planning to do after the other two, right?
Yeah, right.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Also, I don't know if you've noticed, Frederico has started doing a weekly update in the channel.
Yeah,
Which
I
one
Which
are
like
you this week? You've been out.
yeah, like I noticed it like yesterday, but I didn't get time to reply. But I will like participate in that.
Cool. Just wanted to call it out for the future. I know, Federico, you've been out this week, so didn't send one this week, and that's perfectly reasonable. But going forward, we should try to continue that process because it's awesome. Good opportunity to remind everyone. Excellent. So thank you very much, Arpit. Let's move on to the next item, which is the SIG UI Spotlight, which is being led by Arujval. Is Arujval on? No. He did ping me earlier today about the questions for, was it this one or a different one?
Question.
Working group policy. He's also working on working group policy, and that one is moving. So don't know what the update is on this one, though. We'll move on. Spotlight on SIG Infra. Akansha.
I revised the questions, but I need review so that I can then send in the channel. So, like, whom should I tag to get the reviews?
Perfect. So Arujval has been doing the same thing in the SIG ContribEx comms channel. He posted, let me see here if I can see it. I got some initial, well, he got some initial responses and he asked for a review to add additional questions. So he was already getting responses and then he asked for that. So you could do it earlier.
Okay, so
I would-
I think then I can send it in the channel and yeah, okay, that sounds
That's how I
good.
would suggest doing it.
Okay, yeah,
I
sounds good.
know I don't hang out in
I
GitHub
need
near as
to
much as I
tag
should.
the maintainers, co-leads in that channel specifically? Like, is it a good approach to do?
Well, the question is, do you want review of your questions before you send them? Or do you want to go ahead and send them for response? Or do you want to do
For
both?
response, yeah.
Oh, okay, then you don't need to send it in SIG ContribEx comms. Just send it to those leads. Have you reached out in their channel yet? SIG?
No,
Which
no,
what is this?
not yet.
Kate's Infra. Cool. So go into the SIG Kate's Infra channel in Slack and say something along the lines of, hello, I'm here from the comms team and I am interested in doing a spotlight on you. I have some questions ready. Who should I interview?
All right.
It's probably going to be the co-chairs and maybe tech leads. Usually it's both. It's all of those, but sometimes they want to train someone else who is coming up as a co-chair, so they'll have you interview them instead or something. So it's good to check.
Okay, sounds good. So I will send the questions now. Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, ask them who to interview and then send them to whoever they say. All right. Thank you very much for working on that. I'm super excited to see it.
Thank you.
If you need any support or assistance, feel free to reach out in the SIG ContribEx comms channel anytime.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Moving on, the SIG Architecture Spotlight article. Federico.
I'm still transcribing the interview, and I've finalized the one on enhancements, which I should be able to open during the next week or so. So it's no major update from last week.
Wonderful. Also, I'm kind of excited that this has been around long enough, but it's actively been in progress actually, that it got we're gonna make this stale message.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
nice
because
job on this long-term project.
Great,
for those listening, this is because this is a sort of meta issue that
Umbrella.
was then split to individual
Yeah.
sub-projects. So by the time we close this, we will probably have like 6 spotlight interviews done. So yeah, but you're absolutely right. I think this is very useful see how this kind of work ends up being more of a marathon than a 100 meters run.
Love it. And it looks like this has been around for like a year and a half, so awesome. Thank you very much for that. And then the next one is also you, Federico, the SIG etcd Spotlight article.
So they have replied and they have added content to it during the last week. So now we are reviewing the answers, and if they are mostly okay, we will be proceeding with the Markdown conversion.
I'll provide an update on that. Reviewing answers. Excellent. Thank you very much. Next one is the SIG Apps Spotlight, which is owned by Sandipan. I believe he's been giving updates in the weekly request for updates when we asked. Yeah. He said that his last update was on Friday, August 2nd, it looks like, and he said that the chairs had shared their final responses. So he's just working on writing that. I'm going to put that in for him. Cool. Next item, Deaf and Hard of Hearing Working Group plus Kubernetes blog post. And Sandeep is on. Do you have any updates?
Sorry.
Hey.
Sorry, I don't have any updates. It has been a pretty hard week.
No worries. That happens. These, we were just saying, can be very long-term projects. So take as long as you need. We appreciate you doing the work.
Yeah. No, I think I'll have some progress on this next week. Okay, and also finalize the list of questions by next week, and then again reshare it with the group in case anyone wants to add any more questions. Yeah, I think the group will be also very excited to have this. The group is also very much looking forward to answering this.
Yay! I'm looking forward to it. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And sorry for being late. My previous meeting is still
Oh,
going
you're
on.
fine.
Oh, no
Oh,
worries.
no.
Yeah, I mean this week has been such hectic that when the day merges into night, no idea.
Oof. Sorry to hear it.
Yeah.
I hope things
And-
calm down.
And just
Yeah.
hopefully, and Kathleen and Chris, thank you for sharing the link to the org membership. I'll make sure to do it in the weekend.
I sent him that last
Yeah,
night.
it looks. I sent it to him like a while back because I
Nice.
went to go open the PR because we mentioned it like 2 weeks ago, I think. I went to go open the PR and I found that the issue template had been updated to basically where it's like fully self-service. It's pretty great. It used to
Awesome.
be that someone had to create an issue, someone had to open a PR and all this other stuff. Now it's just they fill in the blanks, done. So very nice.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, Sandeep. If you need any support anytime, please let us know. We're here to help. And we have 5 minutes left. Go ahead.
Thank you.
We have 5 minutes left. We'll move on to the next item, which is notify comms team when a new issue is created. Mario wanted to do some work on that. He's still out this week. We'll check in with him next week. Guidelines for usage of Kubernetes IO Twitter. That was in a good place. We were hoping to get that PR out this week, but I think since Mario's been out, we'll give that one more week. AI rules, like I said, are underway. I'm going to move that up to the sensitive comms stuff.
Thanks.
It's all
I think
related.
like all these various documents might just turn into one. Like
For sure.
GitHub README kind of thing. Yeah.
Only one GitHub README kind of thing that basically just says, did you think about your audience?
That would be funny.
kind of a Kelsey Hightower no code solution to comms.
Sorry, that made me laugh.
I like it. All right. Last item in progress, comms team social lead shadow structure. I talked with Arpit a little bit about some thoughts on this week. I was hoping to get something reviewable to him by today, but that hasn't happened because I ended up having to do like on the weekly rotation thing we're doing to like give feedback on products.
Oh,
It was pretty cool. I like doing testing, but took up time.
I bet. I'm gonna move the Twitter guideline things up underneath sensitive comms too.
Oh yeah, feel free.
Yeah,
Because those are things that are
I
like
feel
in
like
danger of moving to blocked and waiting.
right, like the in progress stuff that I wish you could sort it by age, or maybe can we? No. Okay, never mind. Oh well.
Yeah. Alrighty, so that puts us through the in progress column. Quick overview of blocked and waiting, SIG security, spotlight. Questions had been sent. Sriram, I guess, was in charge of this. So we should check in with him sometime. Adding Zapier stuff, help wanted posts. There'll be some movement actually on this kind of with the new contributor workshop thing, so we should revisit that, but leaving it there for now. LinkedIn, adding it to the websites. There's some Hugo issues there, it sounded like, and establishing a process to prevent duplication of LWKD. Cool. So any last questions, comments, things people want to discuss in the last 2 minutes?
Like I want to know, in the to-do list, there's a SIG infra budget special blog. Is it like available?
Yes, it sounds like it. So Akansha is doing a special or a spotlight blog on SIG infra, but it's just kind of generally about the SIG. We would also at some point like to do one specifically about the project and work that has gone on around the Kubernetes project budget. So that is available, I believe we established last time.
So are there any resources for this one, like as it is specifically for budget? So like for research, is there any kind of resources that anyone can refer to, or like something like that?
The best one is called Mario Faland. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, definitely talk to Mario. He's very familiar with this area. There is like a regular cadence message that goes into the SIG infra Slack channel, I think, about this, which is one of the primary sources. There are some other resources, I think, around, but I don't know where they are. So ask Mario.
Okay. Like it's really seems interesting, like researching about SIG infra budget. So like, is it like possible to assign me? Like I have already 2 blogs assigned to me.
There is no limit. It's whatever you think you can handle. So please make sure that you're keeping us up to date on when you want to handle things. Like you've mentioned the kubectl spotlight, you're going to handle after the others. It's relevant to some other work. So
yeah, like that is because like I have tried to like blog it up, but there's something I am researching about, and like I am asking folks about that one, so like I can frame it in a blog. But like
exactly.
it seems like interesting, so that's why I asked. Like if no one wants to take it, I will be happy to work on it.
If it is relevant to work that you're doing and you want to pick it up, then I can assign it to you and we can check in with you again on it next week. Would that be helpful?
Yeah.
Okay. Give it a shot. And then Federico, we're a minute over now. So if you have to go, please do.
You're fine.
But
Yeah.
Federico, we were working on creating guidelines on like what's been done for SIG spotlights and what's available. You've been out, so I'm sure that you haven't made any progress. I also haven't made any progress, but anything you want to say about that?
No, I mean, I've added a couple of more in my fork, but I still haven't committed. So perhaps next week I'll have something a bit more structured. So I'll try to finish it up and at least push the fork that I have into main, so that it's a better representation of the stuff that's available out there.
Wonderful. Should I add that as a in progress item, I think?
Yes.
I know at least
if
one
it's
other
something we
person
need-
who's waiting for that. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, we should. If it's something somebody's waiting on, we should track it.
Agreed. SIG Spotlight availability. Cool. So we're 2 minutes after. I'm gonna move that up toward the top, very top. Any beyond last minute items that folks want to discuss? Cool. Then I want to give a quick version of the SIG Spotlight spiel just in case for anyone who's not familiar. Welcome to the group if you haven't been here before. We have an evergreen project, of basically always available project of writing blogs spotlighting special interest groups or working groups within the Kubernetes project. So we're working on establishing a list of what's available there. But if you want to do one, please feel free to reach out to us on SIG ContribEx comms in Slack and just let us know you're interested in writing a blog. Maybe say Spotlight blog, SIG Spotlight blog, and we'll reply to you in there to help you find all the resources that you need and stuff. So feel free. Oh, question. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone.
Hello,
I'm
welcome.
I'm recently graduated in the field of CS and just trying to contribute in K8s and get to know about this community. So I want to know how can I contribute. I am very new to this.
Welcome. Glad to have you. Everybody starts out there. So I don't know if you were on earlier, but we're talking about we're creating a new contributor orientation meeting, which will happen probably not next week, but the week after. So we'll keep mentioning that in this meeting. This is weekly, so you're always welcome here. You're
Okay.
welcome to pick up one of those SIG Spotlight blogs if you'd like to pick up something and start working on it. The nice thing about those is that you learn a little bit about the structure of the project and about a different group within the project, and then you release something into the public sphere that you have created. So if you want to pick up a SIG Spotlight blog, that's a great place to start. Just attending meetings is a great place to start. And if you want to attend that new contributor orientation meeting, we'll go over more of it there too. Any questions?
Okay.
We're glad to have you.
So I can contribute to writing blogs.
Mhm.
Interested in
There
that.
are a lot of different areas that you can contribute to. A common question that folks have when they're getting started is like, how do I become a contributor? Like there's like a badge or something, which there
Yes.
kind of is, but not really. You are a contributor as long as you are doing work in the Kubernetes community. So just pick up something, feel free to check it out. One bit of advice I like to give folks is we do have a concept of good first issues. So we have a label on GitHub where if you look at the issues, some of them will be labeled good first issue. And the idea of those is that they will be kind of standalone projects that are relatively accessible to someone brand new who doesn't know much about the project. In practice, it's very hard to scope something like that. And a lot of the time they aren't scoped that well. And a lot of folks pick those up and then start working on it and then get kind of lost. So I don't really recommend picking up good first issues, but there are lots of opportunities to also contribute code if you have particular programming skills. Since you said you have a CS degree, I assume you know a little bit of programming.
Yes.
So there are definitely places where you can do that as well. If you start out with a SIG Spotlight blog, you could look into the different special interest groups and see if there's an area where you would like to contribute code.
Thank you for this warm introduction.
It's how we do things here. Feel free to reach out to me
I will
directly
let you
or
know in which topic, about which topic I will write the blog.
Perfect.
Yeah, and one thing I would say is that in the CNCF Slack, there is a channel called the CNCF New Contributors.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can just join that channel, and actually Dims has actually pinned some links. So you can actually use that as a very good getting started guide.
Cool. Okay, sir.
I didn't know about that in the CNCF Slack, but there is also one in the Kubernetes
I didn't
Slack.
either. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the one
wow.
in the is that the one you're
Could be
thinking of?
both.
There probably are both. The Kubernetes new
Yeah.
contributors one does have some pinned bookmarks that you should definitely check out.
I guarantee
Like I
Dims
have
has
an
been in
idea.
there.
We
Yeah, go
can we can like write a blog about like how new contributors can start, and if a person who is like very new to contributing can write that blog, like by doing that kind
Oh,
of
good
research,
point.
that person can also like get involved in the CNCF ecosystem, plus as well as writing a blog as their first contribution. Like this is like this, and this is just an idea. I like need your opinions about it.
I like the idea of pairing this with the new contributor orientation meeting and having it done by the folks who are building that content. Since they will be used to explaining this to folks who are looking to become contributors. A lot of folks want to do the new contributor blog thing when given an opportunity, at least judging by the KubeCon submissions. And some advice that I've given to folks in this group before is those tend not to make very strong KubeCon submissions when folks submit like, I want to tell you about my experience becoming a new contributor to this, because that would be better as a blog post than it would be as a talk at KubeCon. So like a series of those on like the contributor blog, I would be all for. That might be a project that we should spin up. I like that idea. So I'm going to create 2 new items in the to-do column, new contributor orientation blog and new contributor story blog series. Bart Farrell did something along these lines at one point, which was videos interviewing contributors about their journeys.
I have seen those.
Yeah. And then
Awesome.
he
Yeah.
moved on from our group and started contributing in other places. And so that kind of dropped off because he was the one who did it. But folks are always welcome to propose things like that if they want to do them.
Like I can reach out to Bart in case.
Sure. Let's discuss that more next week. We are 10 minutes over now.
Yeah.
And I haven't even
Yes.
said goodbye to our friends on YouTube yet. Any other beyond last minute items since folks are still around today? All right, then. With that, I'm going to say goodbye to our friends on YouTube. As you can see, I don't have my usual other meeting so far today, though I offered to create it. So we can hang out for a few minutes without the recording. But goodbye, friends on YouTube.